got the goodies. I got an iced blueberry hibiscus latte, and I already know it's going to be good because I've had it a million times. It is so good. Out back of the coffee house is this little area where they have music festivals, and it's really pretty. But I went to set my stuff down over here, and I found a rock with a little frog on it. Honestly, the blueberry in this is more prominent than anything. It's not too sweet, even though I got extra syrup. It's more like the essence of it. I'm pretty sure their syrups are house made, but I also get oat milk because it has a really nice texture here, which I know sounds weird, but it's really easy to go wrong with oat milk, and this one just does it so perfectly. I also wanted to address some of the allegations in my comment sections. No, I do not go to coffee shops every single day. I usually get coffee at most once a week, which is like $20 a month. So please stop worrying about me spending my money on coffee every day. I'm not in any debt. I don't have kids. I don't have any super expensive spending habits other than my cars, which I pace myself really well with. So this is one of the little hobbies that I allow myself to have. Also, coffee is an art, and coffee shops like this wouldn't survive without enthusiasts and casual enjoyers. So it is more worth it than anything to just go support local every once in a while. All of the love and the support in the comment sections has been more encouraging and fulfilling than literally any type of content that I've ever done. I can't even try to sit here and put it into words to you guys. I feel like I've been doing really well since quitting my job. I thought that I would have trouble filling my days up with productive things, but honestly, I don't. I have been doing so much art, and I didn't think that I would want to do it so much that it would take up the amount of time that I spend at a 9 to 5. But honestly, I wake up and I get to it, and I'm not done doing art until my boyfriend gets off of work, which is so fun. And I was able to confidently open commissions again, which I haven't been able to do in a while, honestly. My commissions have always been really slow, and I've always felt kind of standoffish towards them because, you know, I would have like an hour every day to do it when I was working the 9 to 5. But yesterday I sat there and I got 3 done in a day. That is so awesome. But now my rant is over, and I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I might do some art with you guys and maybe touch the Miata or the 240. Whatever it is, you're coming with me and you have no choice. I'm looking a little bit of a mess because sometimes there's days where I just don't want to clock in at the Girl Factory. I want to pretend like I don't have hair at all. If I feel it touching my face, it's over. My mission is to go buy paint for the 240, finally. I've been putting it off for a lot of reasons that I've talked about on this channel. I just kind of have like a lot going on, but it's finally settling down and I am ready to get my cars back on track, especially the 240. I'm not even sure it's the best time to try and get the 240 looking pretty again because I really don't like driving it in the summer. But what I hate more than anything is just letting it sit and look clapped, so I'm going to try and fix that now. I ended up taking the bash bar off of it and trying the new front end on, and I'll put pictures of that over this, but my bash bar will not fit with the new front end. So I'm a little bit unsure what to do about that. I might look for an OEM bash bar again. I'm pretty disappointed because the thought of the powder coated bash bar peeking through the mouth of the Chuki front sounded so cool, but that is literally just not possible, and cutting up the bash bar and reducing the structural integrity of it is kind of not an option for me. I value that safety. But either way, I really like the Chuki front and I need to see it paint matched. I'm super excited. So I'm gonna get this little menace started up, and it looks a little cloudy outside, which I fear because look at that! Ooh. The clouds are so beautiful though. Clouds are in the opposite direction from where I think I'm going to be driving, Since my last video, I have played around with this car a little bit. I talked about the bogging issues that it's having in lower RPMs. It also idles pretty rough, and I've chopped it up to it probably has something to do with the variable valve timing. I tested the VVT solenoid, it gets power, and the connectors going to the VVT solenoid also is getting power, so it could be something internal. I'm hoping it's not a huge crazy fix. But as of now, the car does run and drive. Like I said, it just kind of struggles in lower RPMs and it makes it a little bit miserable to drive, but it is my only option right now. I've seen people ask why I am not driving the 240 because it is perfectly drivable. I do drive it here and there, but not often because I am scared of getting pulled over for how it looked. And some people were like, nah, cops don't care as long as you have signals and lights. They care. I've been pulled over for how it looked. I forgot to mention, I also did try new coil packs, and it idles a little bit better, a tiny bit smoother. I say as it almost dies, but ultimately my big issue is still there. I want to keep telling myself that I'm tired of this color already, but I think it's just because I don't have the front lip or the hardtop on, which I keep putting off. I know, then it's already showing signs. But wrap just doesn't last forever, no matter how good a care you take of it. It sucks because I want it to last forever so badly, but I don't want to sit here and have to re-wrap panels for the rest of my life, you know? Low-key, to switch it up though, I've been thinking about wrapping my mirrors and maybe wrapping my trunk. What do we think? Just to switch it up, because I really don't want to lose interest. As of right now, we have a 40% chance of rain at 4 p.m. and it's 2:30. I think I got this. Hold my beer. I love that I'm looking up directions to this shop, and in my recently searched on Apple Maps is the Jellyfish Museum in Florida. I want to go so bad, it's on the bucket list. I look up my dream destinations every few days just to make sure that it's still an equal distance away and it didn't somehow get closer. The sky looks so scary and dark over there. I'm a little bit afraid. I'm so annoyed because I took one wrong turn and it took me on toll roads, and I never ever take tolls in this car. Thank you, Texas. I feel like in this car I'm just a victim of road rage by default. Like I don't need to be doing literally anything at all, and people are just like, I don't know if y'all could hear that. It says no parking in front of this, but I just banged a subframe getting up here. Don't make me leave. I am nothing but a public nuisance. I definitely screwed something up. I definitely shouldn't be parking like this, but I cannot get up this little hill. I got the goodies. I walked in there and they were like, hey, what are you looking for? And I was like, P7W, I think it's one of those. It's a Chrysler paint code. So he was like, oh, okay, what kind of Chrysler you got? And I was like, a Nissan Chrysler. But I told them I needed 2 quarts of everything because that's what the guy said who's painting my car. And they were like, okay, what parts are you painting? And I told them it was just the front end, and they said that I should be okay with just 1 quart. So I'm gonna give that to the painter, and if he needs more, I guess I'll come back and get more. But it's really sweet that they were trying to help me save money. I also came out and got in my car, and I saw both of them walk outside and peek around the corner and look at my Miata, and then one of them walked up to it and he was like, is this 3-stage paint? And I said, no, it's wrap. If you look a little closer, you can tell it's wrap, and you can tell I did it myself. But yeah, I'm really happy because the biggest step is done for the 240, and we're 1 step closer to having a chooky front. It is so humid. I'm gonna be so honest, I'm a little bit worried about the Miata because coming in to this parking lot, it made a pretty horrible sound, and I was still scraping just as much trying to maneuver around the road. Sounded like it was coming from my passenger side fender. So I'm gonna pull out of here and hope that it's just making that noise because I'm on an incline. I don't know. Okay, let's get the fork out of here. Okay, bro. I should have slowed down. It was a little MR2 Spider, a silver one. So cute. About to make a right turn, so you'll probably be able to hear the noise. Yeah. I swear if I get out of this car and I have a bacon fender. Can you see all of the geese? There's so many geese! Okay, I'm home. Let's go look at this fender. So, this looks like my issue. Looks like it was rubbing against the wheel pretty bad. So I'll just need to roll that again. But how did I do that? Thankfully, the outside of the fender looks good though. This wrap is still forked up, but I kinda don't care as long as there's no dents out here. Still smiling though. Bumper gap, annoying. Sick of that. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while now, but I kept putting it off. This is my childhood 3DS. It's a blue XL. This is actually not my first handheld console. My first one was a hot pink DSi that I got when I don't even know how old. I was so young. It's some of my first memories. But I got this one when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I believe, and it has been attached to me since then. And not to be dramatic, but it's gotten me through a lot of hard things that I think otherwise I would have really struggled to get through without it. I think we know here that I have a pretty extensive history with Nintendo, and I still hold it very near and dear to me. To this day, I actually just got a Wii U, and not long ago I did get a purple Japanese 2DS, which is one of my dream consoles, so I crossed that off the list. But a Wii U was at the very top. That was actually my biggest goal for this year, and it's all mine, and it's a white one. And it came with every piece that it needs. Okay, glazing aside, let me explain to you what's going on here. This is a game called Art Academy. I actually didn't play this at all growing up, but if I had it, I would have been obsessed with it. I only really drew on Flipnote Studios, but this game specifically is a realistic art simulator, and you would be surprised at how well these brushes interact with the canvas. But since it is a realistic art simulator, there are a few downsides, like you can only draw on one layer and there is no undo button, so honestly, to this day, even if you're a skilled artist, it is going to put you to the test. And you can see here that it's also not going to allow you to trace, so I'm using something that I like to call the grid method, and I actually use this in my own traditional work. I will draw a grid on my paper, take a picture of it, and I'll overlay it over my reference so that I can reference the grid. And it really, really helps you figure out proportions. And even if you're not an artist, you might remember this method being an activity in your coloring books when you were younger, which is where I actually had my first experience with it. I think I like drawing on my DS so much because it kind of forces you to have an experience that you wouldn't have otherwise. I mean, of course, it's a 3DS, but the fact that it kind of just forces you to have fun and not take it as seriously is an experience that I think a lot of artists need to have here and there. So, with that being said, no matter what your hobby is, I want to encourage you to start a project that you are not going to share with anybody because ultimately that is where you find all of your growth. Or to start a project that's just completely out of the box, like drawing on a 14-year-old handheld console. I did want to ask though if you guys have any favorite Nintendo games. It doesn't have to just be the DS console. I have way too many to list, honestly, but my favorite of all time is Mario Galaxy. And if we're talking about the DS, my favorite has to be Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventures. I also love me some Animal Crossing and some Happy Home Designer. I think those have my most hours out of this console. Also, this is homebrewed, so I have all of the amiibos that I could ever dream of, and that makes the game a million times more fun. Can I just say as well that I love the noises in this game? So this feature is really cool. Something I wanted to show off. Since this is a traditional art game, you can't color pick and drop the colors onto your canvas. So they have this feature where you can see at the top, I'm sliding this little circle around. That's showing the color that I currently have picked. And you can move it anywhere you want in the image and add colors to it until it matches the background. You can see here it's a little too desaturated, so I'm going to add blue until it matches and a little bit more white, and boom, you can barely see that circle and it is color matched. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up and leave you here now to watch the rest of this in a little bit of peace because your girl is hungry and I need to go have a snack. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this video because I've enjoyed making it and I'm super excited to post it. Let me know if you like these art segments, and also please don't forget to let me know your favorite Nintendo game because I could talk about it forever. And if you aren't a Nintendo kid, let me know your favorite game in general, especially on Steam because I've been looking for more fun stuff to play.